Hi there and welcome to the Formula One Japanese Grand Prix from the Suzuka circuit. Got a great race for you tonight, or today, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, Suzuka, a very fast circuit, a lot of elevation changes at Suzuka. As you can see here on the track map, just one DRS detection zone. It's pretty difficult to overtake it, and it's very easy to spin out. The S's at the start of the lap, very easy to overcook that and end up spinning. So as the starting grid, George Russell puts it on pole from Max Verstappen, 3/10 up as well. That's quite a big difference between the two. I've got Leclerc and Piastri on the second row of the grid. Norris fifth, Hamilton sixth. Then Sainz from Alonso, Albon and Hulkenberg. Danny Rick out qualifying Perez there in 12th. Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon and Zhou. Bottas, Magnussen and right at the back. Sargent and Lance Stroll. Look at that, right at the back. Terrible qualifying there from Lance. More than 50,000 people in Japan are at least 100 years old, apparently. Well, that's certainly an interesting statistic. There's Fernando. Will be starting from 8th position on the grid. As we can see from the performance here, the Aston Martins have had a few upgrades, so it will be nice to see. Hopefully they can bridge that gap that we saw in Australia. Just not quite on it, you know. Great pace from Fernando with the vehicle that he had at his disposal, but hopefully those upgrades give him that extra little bit. Could see a podium. So here we go, 5 lights and lights out, and we're underway. That's a good start from George. Looks like Leclerc's had a decent start there. Yeah, he's managed to box Verstappen off. Really good start. Alonso up to 7th. Oh, looking down the inside, up to 6th now. Really good start from Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. George Russell at the front, yeah. We've got a bit of a battle at the back here between Zhou, Ocon and Bottas and the rest. Stroll's not managing to get close, unfortunately, for him. And there's the replay of the start here. As you can see, Russell gets off really clean. Same as Leclerc. Verstappen, this start was really slow. Not a great turn one for Max either. He gets boxed out. You see, oh, look at that. You see debris all over the place. I think that's Zhou's wing going flying there as well. A new feature that's been introduced with the replays. There we go from Zhou's point of view. She gets off really quickly. Gets past Ocon and it's squeezed out by Tsunoda. And you see the left hand side, the left end plate of the front wing there. Absolutely destroyed. Back into the race, back live anyway, and down above the Zhou. I would expect that there's going to be a gap form if these guys can't get past Zhou in the salvage. You can see he's only rocking half a wing there. So he really needs to they really need to get a move on and get past him. Not great from Lance. He can't get anywhere near really. There he goes. Bottas having a look at Ocon there. Yeah, We've got to get past him. I imagine Joe's going to pit in right now. You see bottom left, our Alonso. Oh no, he stayed out. He stayed out with a broken wing. That's very surprising. Look at the gap now. You see Ocon just trying to get through there. It's on the Alonso cam. Great start for Fernando. Up into 6th position. Made 2 positions up already. On board with, well, not on board. We're following Perez in 11th. On the back of Hulkenberg and Albon. Would you imagine that he's going to pass these pretty quickly? As I mentioned, DRS is available from lap 2. We've mentioned that in previous races. However, here the DRS zone is just a start-finish straight. It makes Suzuka a very, very difficult track to overtake on. Piastri here in 4th position, tucked in nicely behind the front 3. He's got Norris just behind him there, his teammate. It's difficult for Fernando to catch these two. He's right on the back of them, to be fair. Hamilton's right on the back of Alonso. We've got an incident here with what's happening here with Leclerc. We've got a replay. Missed this. Oh, it's a lock-up. Oh, that's a massive lock-up actually from George Russell. Look at that. Yeah. Leclerc goes through into 1st position. Absolute scenes. Russell's held everyone else up as well. So, yeah, good stuff from Leclerc. Verstappen's managed to get through. Oh, that looked like a big lock-up from Oscar there. That puts Fernando Alonso into 5th position. You go on board with Fernando. He's looking pretty decent still, yeah. Got to get back onto Norris and start attacking Lando as quickly as he can. I can't stress enough how difficult Suzuka is to pass if he's not a mistake from another driver. Imagine George Russell's tyres are not looking great at the minute. Still on to 3rd position though. So he's doing well. He's still got a podium in the bag as it stands. Nice and smooth through the chicane there this lap. As we enter lap 4 of 27. A bit of a gap opening up between the front 2 and the rest of the pack here. Verstappen right on the back of the play now. Alonso here in 5th position. Is he getting close enough to Lando? You don't want to be in the dirt here. So obviously the air is displaced by the car, and you don't want to be where that air is being displaced. It will slow you down. You want to be in the clean air where you can cut through as normal. Aerodynamics massively important in any race really. Yeah. We're watching Lewis Hamilton at the minute. He's looking like he wants to make the pass. He wants to try. He's not quite close enough though, and not having DRS is not going to help him. He'll have it down the start-finish straight here, so we'll see. But it's such a short DRS zone that it's not really viable for you to go for a pass. I've just seen Verstappen up into first place. He's passed Leclerc there. I think he actually used the DRS and got something out of it. What that also means is it makes ERS massively important around Suzuka, because you've got to know when to use that battery. Whether it be to attack and pass, or to defend and stay in front of somebody. Max now with the lead as well. As we've seen in the last couple of races, he's been pretty dominant, especially after the pit stops. It's quite ominous for the rest of the field here that he's managed to get into first position after that, quite frankly, terrible start that he had. For him now to be there in first is it's not good news for the rest of the pack. We've got Fernando there with just having a bit of a battle with Lewis, as you can see there just in the background. Fernando, yeah, there we go. I think Lewis is going to get through. Yeah, he's just about got through there. Fernando's going to have to back off. He doesn't want trouble there with Lewis. If he gets squeezed, he's going to end up like Zhou, where he's not able to keep it on the circuit, or he's going to lose a front wing, and that's going to cost him lots of positions. He did the right thing there in backing out, in my opinion. Hamilton then moves up to 5th position. You know, Fernando's going to be on the back of him. This is an old rivalry renewed as well, of course. So I think Oscar's right on the back of Fernando as well. So, and then Carlos Sainz just tucked in 8th. Because Carlos had a miserable time in Australia. I think he's in 18th, I believe it was. So I'm sure he'll be happy just to be in the points. It's a marked improvement on what he was able to do or not able to do last week in Australia, in Melbourne. Fernando, oh, he's looking. Is he going to try and make the pass? No, he's just pulled out there. Probably the right thing to do. Very difficult to pass through that chicane. Just the DRS zone's not long enough. He has to in that awkward position where he's got DRS but he can't get past Fernando, because Fernando also has DRS. He's not comfortable, but he's all right, just because there's not really that many overtaking opportunities. As you see, Lando trying to get onto the back of Russell here, trying to get close enough. I think a lot's going to be decided here in Japan based on mistakes. We've seen already that George from first place now down to 3rd had a huge mistake, really. It cost him, and of course Oscar in the McLaren also made a mistake locking up, and it's cost him places too. So that is pretty much the story of Suzuka. As Oscar now, look at that, it looks like he's going to get through on Fernando. No, he's backed out. That's defensive driving there from Fernando. Difficult in that Aston Martin. It's not a bad car, but it's just not quite, you know, it's not quite there in terms of performance. So Alonso doing a stellar job with holding these guys up, but because of the lack of performance, you'd imagine that it's only a matter of time before these guys pass. We've got a good battle here for 9th position between Albon. Hulkenberg still in this, and Perez. It just shows how difficult the pass is here at Suzuka, that Perez is still in 11th position. He's got the car. He's certainly got the car with the Red Bull. He's got the performance. He should be passing these pretty quickly, you would imagine, but just such a tough track to do that on. He's disadvantaged as well because Hulkenberg will have DRS in the one position that, or the one part of the track where you'd imagine a pass is very, very possible. Back up to Alonso now. He's still a little bit of time, yeah, to Lewis here. He's managing to hold position in 6th. Oh, we see just behind there, Sainz having a look on Piastri. Could hold Piastri up a little bit here. If Piastri has to defend, would definitely give a bit of breathing room for Fernando to push and try and actually get a bit of a gap towards the 2 behind him, or from the 2 behind him, and close that gap on Lewis if you possibly can. So while we look here on lap 9 of 27, I hope you enjoy the new features that we've brought in. Obviously the Alonso cam has been there since the beginning. Oh, a little bit of track limits there from Fernando. Nothing too bad. Yes, Piastri and Sainz really close. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the new replay feature. It's something that the channel has brought in, so you won't miss any incidents, and I think it adds to the broadcasting style. It's really something else. I really enjoy it, and I think full credit has to go to Gaming Crypto for bringing in that idea on the channel. It's a very forward-thinking idea, not something that you see another channel do. And as I say, I think it adds the overall broadcast feel of these races. It's good for me too as a commentator, because it means if I miss an incident, I'm likely to see it on a replay. Not 100%. I'm sure you can't get every little incident. The video will be 3 hours long. But yeah, great new feature. As we go up to Lando, pushing for a podium here. He's very close behind George and Charles Leclerc. I think Max has gapped Leclerc enough here, but Charles won't have DRS, so if these guys can get close enough, as I keep mentioning, I can't stress it enough because it's true, it's such a difficult track to pass on. It's not for lack of action. We're seeing plenty of action here, but obviously the passes aren't quite. It's all about track position, and getting the strategy right will be immensely important to everybody. Oh, George, he's not quite getting close enough, George. Lando has got a bigger gap to George than what George has to Charles. I didn't notice there. I don't think Charles had any DRS. So yeah, Max up the road here. Gives him a an advantage during the pit window, which I imagine to be 12:15 is possible. I'd say about end of lap 12 or 13. I think people will start coming in. So we're very close now, and we'll see how that shakes the standings up, if it does at all. Down at the back of the pack there, if you've not noticed, Stroll up to 18, made a couple of positions up. Joe obviously 20, he had that damaged wing. Perez, by the way, down to 12th position. We missed that. Gasly's managed to get through. Terrible day for Sergio Perez. We ride on board with? Well, we follow. We don't ride on board. I don't know why I say that. We're following Oscar here. And again, not quite getting close enough. I think everyone's just trying to conserve the tyres a little bit, trying to get through to the end of what I imagine will be the end of lap 13. Although, of course, the likes of Russell and Hamilton, Lando and Oscar will probably have to strategise between themselves a little bit. You see Gasly just behind Hulkenberg. Albon's managed to pull out a decent gap here. Doing really well in the Williams. Not even close to being the best car on the grid right now, but look at him go. He's having a really good race. Back up to Piastri now. And trying to pass Fernando, but again, very attacking. He's trying his best. There's just nowhere to pass really. Although you see, he looked really, really close there, and then obviously because he comes around the corner, we can see the actual gap. Oh, he's having a look. Alonso just not quite taking the right line here. That means Oscar's going to go through. Is he going to manage it? As you see, Hamilton's pitted in. So that puts Alonso in fifth. No, that's he's still not managed to get past. Even with Fernando there taking a bit of a dodgy line through the chicane. Perez up to 10th. People pitting in now, as I imagine they would at the end of lap 12. I think 12-13 for the mediums, so it gives you 15 or 14 laps on the hard tyre. I think that was the right call. Unless you can make the mediums last and go on a soft tyre. I do, however, I do like the hard tyre on this particular version of the game. You can attack more with it, and it'll still last. I think it's a big factor in selecting the strategy for a race. Had a little drink there. Very nice. A little bit of water just to wet the whistle, so to speak. There we go. Alonso's in. Alonso's pitted. Max has pitted too. Piastri's now up into first position. He's taking these tyres, son. We're looking at Norris. Bit of a slow stop there from Lando. Still not a lot on it. There's that Alonso in the background there, just behind Lando. A lot of traffic coming out of the pits, so got to be careful here. Yeah, Hamilton's managed to get on the back of Russell here. So, the undercut is strong. It is at every track, by the way. That's I think I mentioned it in previous races that New Hards will absolutely dominate the used mediums, and because he's already got warmed up tyres, he's also got a performance advantage in that. In that regard, if you know, we'll compare Hamilton and Russell, you know, so Hamilton does have the performance advantage by pitting in earlier. His tyres are already warm. That could give him a chance to pass. Actually, the fact that he's got fully fully warmed up tyres. Let's see, Piastri's in. Carlos Sainz has pitted. So these guys were just behind Fernando. So we'll see where they come out. There was a lot of traffic as Lewis. Well, it was George, Lando, and Fernando all came out of the pits. Oh, look at that! Is that a move being made there? Side to side. Oh no! There's damage. There's damage to Fernando Alonso's car. That's the front right end plate. Piastri has had a coming together there. Alonso and Piastri. That's unfortunate. That's going to cost Alonso big time here. That could cost him a points finish. As you see, he kind of missed out on the pit stop too. That traffic coming out of the pits didn't help him. Right in his face. And with the cold tyres. Almost a spin there from Fernando. Really struggling with the damage. Tsunoda and Ricciardo on the hard tyres, by the way, stayed out. This is an interesting strategy from these pair. Are they going to go hard, soft? Verstappen's well down the road. Tsunoda and Ricciardo will be holding up the rest of the pack too. Someone in the background there trying to make a pass. I think that was Russell on Ricciardo. Couldn't quite. Yeah, Tsunoda's in. Ricciardo's going to have to stay out for at least another lap, so could hold the pack up even more. The RB team doing their best to help the fellow Red Bulls. This is definitely a huge advantage for Max right now. He's probably going to be able to pull away without even having to go like 100%. You know, he's not going to overly wear those tyres out or anything. So yeah, he's got a massive advantage. We've on lap 16, by the way, of 27. It looks like Hamilton has missed out on an opportunity to pass here. Russell, it just shows how difficult this circuit is. Russell can't get through on Danny Rick, and you'd say the difference in performance in these cars. There's a distinct advantage for the Mercedes. Plus he's got newer tyres. He might make a move here. He's having a little look. Is he going to get through? No, he's just tucked in behind again. Look, he can't get close enough to where he's going to confidently try and make a pass on Danny Rick here. So I expect Danny Ricciardo to pull into the pits, and yeah, he has. No, Lewis trying to slingshot through there on George. Mercedes second and third at the minute, by the way. That's a good showing by them. Lando missed out. He's down in fifth now. I think the big winner out of the pit stops there, it would have to be Lewis Hamilton, who's looking good for a podium here. Alonso up into seventh now. He's managed to hold his position at least, even with the damage. So fair play to him. A lot of close battles, but difficult. It's difficult to make that move. I'm sure you don't want to. You don't want to mess it up, you know, as you're. You think you're closer than you are, and you dive bomb. You just take yourself out, and you take your the guy that you're trying to pass as well. So you don't want to do that, especially if you're in a good point scoring position. I can see why people might not want to take that risk. Well, that is really close between Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Looks like Leclerc's holding the holding these guys up a little bit, which is allowed Alonso, who's in 7th position, by the way, still going really well. I think there's going to be a pass here. Hamilton's got past Russell. He's got through. You saw it at the bottom of the screen there. Lewis Hamilton has took 2nd position from George Russell. There we go. You see the replay. You see the DRS. 2 trailer park girls go round the outside, and Lewis through into 2nd position. Amazing pass there. What the replay function is there for. And now you don't miss any of the action. Especially such an important pass. I mean, it's all right. You know, if we miss Stroll going through on Logan Sargent, oh well, Sargent's literally just gone through on Stroll there. Well, 17th position. But if we miss that, it's not of a great consequence to the race. However, that pass there from Lewis on George, that is of a great consequence to the race. Interesting to see the battle behind there. Yeah, they're all lined up. It looks like the Mercedes are pretty much, they're looking pretty solid for the 2 remaining podium places behind Max. They've got a nice little gap to Charles in 4th position. What they need, what Leclerc needs to do is get on the back of these Mercedes if he can. He's having to drive quite defensively, and that's not conducive to getting close to the guys in front. Ricciardo and Hulkenberg, they're switching places a couple of times. They're looking to battle with Tsunoda as well for that last point scoring position. Perry's had a decent pit window, by the way. He's up into 9th position. That'll be a couple of points for him if he can get that. It'll be interesting to see if he can hold on to some points for this race, helping out the team. Okay, he's not. I don't think he's within DRS range. I think he's just a bit too far back. He's got. I mean, he's probably, I'd say, 2 or 3 tenths off. See if he can make that all. If he can get within DRS, he'll get right on the back of George, and he'll be safe from Lando and Oscar. You see how close Lando is behind. They're right on. You know, look at that. Right on each of them. See if Lando can make the pass. Yeah, no DRS for Leclerc. Gives Norris the opportunity here. Can't close the gap, look. Leclerc had a really good exit, and that's enough. Getting right into the meat and drink of the race now, and very, very important that you don't make any mistakes. If you're in a good position like Charles is in right now, you need to just kind of, you've got to be a little bit cautious, but not overly cautious, obviously. he looks like he is getting closer. Very, very slowly. He's just getting closer to those Mercedes. As I say, if you can just get into, if you can get enough of close enough to get the RS, then that will be a huge win for him, because he's going to be able to chill a little bit in terms of having to defend constantly against Lando and Oscar. Up to 7 laps to go. Look at that, Max is miles in front. He's absolutely cruising at the minute. I mean, there's not much I can say about Max. Max doing Max things, really. This battle for second between Hamilton and Russell, and this battle for fourth between Leclerc, Norris and Piastri. But Alonso's not a million miles away either. Problem with Alonso is he's kind of damaged. But yeah, these are the battles that we're seeing. I'm pretty sure Carlos Sainz will want to make a move on Fernando at some point. Fernando's around a little bit wide there. Oh, really wide there. That's that damaged wing. He's having to go full defensive mode. Cut Sainz off a little bit there. Forgive him. All Spanish battle for 7th position. Carlos, even without even without damage and a significant advantage, you would imagine, not just in terms of not having damage, but in terms of the fact that he's in a Ferrari against an Aston Martin, is really struggling to pass. Although he's got a decent line, no, he's backed out again. Look, he's not going for it 100%. He's not risking it. As you can see, the gap from Alonso to Sainz is, as Russell's gone through. Russell's passed Hamilton here. Oh, and look at that! Leclerc's gone wide. Lando and Oscar have gone through. That's a huge mistake at this stage of the game. No. Leclerc's really messed that up. So Russell went through into second, and Leclerc's big lock up there, which is not going to help his tyres any either, has put him down to the 6th position. That's massively disappointing for the Ferraris, and a huge win for the McLarens. Not through them particularly making any good moves, just sticking in there and waiting on the mistake, and that's what happened. Can happen at any point. As we see the battle for second place between George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. As I mentioned, Lewis did make the pass. George made the pass on Lewis. The lap just gone. Lewis losing out on second position. I'd like to see another DRS zone there in sector 3. As Lewis goes through on the inside. That's a lovely little pass. And yeah, back up to second for Lewis. There's been a bit of a to and fro battle between these two, and I'm going to assume that's Zhou. Yeah, he's let Lewis through, and that's I mean, he has let George Russell through, but a little bit later, and Lewis has pulled out a slight gap here, not like making a huge difference, but yeah, he's got a little gap. There's Verstappen, look how far in front he is. He's absolutely smashed this race. He had an awful start, probably one of the worst starts I've seen, and I thought maybe, he's going to get sucked into the pack and struggle a little bit, but no. Through George's mistake early on and some really good driving, he's managed to get out in first position and just been absolutely, as I say, absolutely cruising this race. Almost to the end stages now, and stop it. As I say, I'm quite surprised actually for a Japanese Grand Prix. There's been quite a bit of really good action today, and as I've said, a Suzuka circuit that normally doesn't lend itself to great action on the track. So I've been pleasantly surprised, I would say, at how good this race has been. No, it's Lando. My apologies. That is Lando getting close to George Russell. So Lando's still in 7th. If he can hold on to 7th position here, that would be a huge W for the Aston Martin team. Absolutely carrying the team at the minute, by the way, Alonso. No different to real life, really. And the funny thing is, Lance Stroll gets a contract extension. Nepotism at its finest. He's not a terrible driver, Lance. He's just, there's a lot of drivers out there that could do better in the car that he's got. Anyway, so that's enough hating on Lance for one day. We can do that again next week, I guess. Apologies to all our Canadian viewers out there, but yeah, I like him. He's a lovely guy, and I remember at Jeddah, I believe it was. Was it Jeddah? Or I think it was Jeddah. He had broken wrists. He fell off his bike and just absolutely. He was really good. And he always scores points in Canada too. With Lance. But yeah, I've got nothing against him. I just think maybe a more talented guy. I mean, they've got Drugovic as their third driver, and the fact he can't get a driver it's a bit of a madness for me. That. So Piastri just probably doing the job for the team here, just holding up everyone behind, letting Lando concentrate on attacking George Russell, which is a big brain play there from Zach Brown and the McLaren team. Lando's really close. I think Joe inadvertently, obviously didn't do it on purpose, but inadvertently holding up George here as they were lapping him has really messed George up, and Lando's got a big chance of sneaking a podium. He's got a couple of laps now. He's got lap 26. He's got 2 laps to do it. George going for the hard defend. Lando trying to swing it round the outside. He has done, and Lando goes through for 3rd position. That's a really late pass. George, who started on pole, by the way, down to 4th. And credit to Oscar there, just holding everyone up, and the McLaren team as well for that strategy, just holding everyone up and letting Lando attack. And yeah, he's really got the momentum. On for a podium here, Lando. You see British drivers all up in the face of the podium positions, but nobody's been able to get close to Max. Not this race, and not really at any point during this series so far. Of course, upgrades will change that, I imagine, at some point, and in the not too distant future, if all these teams keep upgrading, keep getting better. There's only so much the Red Bull can do, so I imagine the gap will close, and we'll see these guys, you can see they've all got good pace. They'll be challenging Max for race wins soon enough. There's Leclerc. I don't think he's close enough to Oscar to make a move. No, he's not. We're on the final lap of the race, by the way. This is what it all comes down to, this. And I think mostly, unless there's a mistake, I think because of how late the DRS is in the lap, I think you're probably going to see this, as the standings as they are, being the finish to the race. But we'll see. Anything could happen, really. Lando's not quite, he's not going to get close enough, is he, to Lewis? He's pulled out enough of a gap to George, though, in fourth position. That's always good. If you're a Lando fan, which I am, obviously. Here's Max. He's already in sector 3. He's looking really strong. There we go. He's coming around the left-hander and then short straight into the chicane, and then the right-hander down the hill. There's the chicane. Right-hander down the hill, and here he comes. Max Verstappen is going to cross the line and win the Japanese Grand Prix from the Suzuka circuit. Lewis Hamilton looks like he's going to take second here. I think he's going to just about hold on. Yeah, he looks good. You can see the gaps enough. Lando's going to take third. George Russell fourth. Piastri fifth. Leclerc sixth. Fernando Alonso, by the way, who we didn't watch too much late on, a phenomenal drive there to take 7th position from Carlos Sainz in 8th. Perez in 9th. Is Tsunoda going to get that last points position? I think he is. It's going to be close, though. Fernando Alonso, though, 7th position. Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. Yeah, I think that's fair. He got a really good 2nd position. I think it was either him or Max. I think Max had a really good race too. Credit where it's due. Yeah, what a race that was. What a great finish. Last couple of laps there. As you see, Max Verstappen, of course, celebrating. Oh, he's delighted with that. That was a top class drive from Max, in all fairness. As we go to the podium, and we can see Max Verstappen, and once again we're going to hear the Dutch national anthem. And of course, at the time of recording this, in about 6 hours, I'm going to hear the Dutch national anthem again, because the Netherlands are playing in the Euros in the football. So yeah, all celebrating there. A great finish. Lewis on the podium in 2nd position. Had a really good race. Lewis, yeah, a deserved driver of the day. Here we can see the driver's standings. Fernando Alonso in 4th there. Pretty good. Lando's only 10 points behind Max there in 2nd position. Lance Stroll there, got a few points. Bottas with a point as well. Tsunoda, yeah, there's some decent point scorers in there. Carlos Sainz must be disappointed. Currently 9th in the championship. And we'll go to the constructors' standings. There's Red Bull, 12 points in front of the McLaren. Very, very early on in the season, by the way. A lot could change. Aston Martin in 5th, really the last big point scorers. And then you've got a big gap. And Alpine, Haas and Williams yet to score a point this season. Bottas in the Sauber, fortunately for him, he's got 1 point. And that's it for today anyway. And that was a stellar race, as I say. It was very interesting to watch. It's a pleasure to commentate on these races. I'm really enjoying it. So thank you to Game and Crypto for that opportunity. And we'll see you next time for the next race, which I'm not sure. I think it might be Miami. I don't know what which races I should ask that actually. Which races? And in what order they're going to come. If you like the video, please drop us a thumbs up, and if you want to, you can always subscribe to the channel. turn on notifications and get notified every time there's a new race. Thanks for watching everyone, and we'll see you next time.